My name's Jennifer. You guys know me for Inciso Design, and this is my YouTube channel. I'm hoping you guys, oh my god, there's like freaking mosquitoes in here. I'm so sorry. Into my screen printing. I'm not a professional. I'm barely, this is like my, almost my whole year. This is my first year into screen printing on my own. So I'm still learning. I'm still like trying to get the hang of things. I did, a couple of years ago, I did take a college course at my community college. So I do have a little bit of experience in that. And I do highly recommend taking a college course. So you don't have to spend like thousands of dollars into spending all this money on screen printing supplies when you can take a course. That's going to be super helpful, and you know, you have a teacher helping you on the way. Or you can buy yourself a screen printing kit, which is not as expensive as like bigger equipment that I have, but it's a kind of like a little test run to see if you like it or not. I do recommend those to people who are starting out and kind of want to see how it feels and how it kind of the whole process works. Personally, I hated it, I sucked at it, and I gave up on it. So 2 years later I went back to it. So here I am now, making a video for people who want to know about screen printing. But yeah, it's a lot of trial and error, and I hope you know I could help you and we can help each other, because I'm still learning and I'm not a professional. I haven't done this for like 20 years because obviously I'm like 26, so I'm still learning this. Alright, I feel like I can move a lot more. Alright, so you need screens. I have a cabinet here full of my screens and all my shit. So you're gonna need a screen. This is like the typical size that a lot of screen printers use most of the time. This is like a 230 mesh. There's different meshes, so if you don't know, probably do a little bit more research on that. But there's like 90 mesh, 100 mesh. Depending on the mesh is the type of design you're gonna put on here. So the finer the lines, the higher the screen. So if you have really blocky text and then you want a lower one, so more ink can go through it. I don't know why I'm losing my, like, trying to catch my breath here. Alrighty, so you need a screen. You could buy these off of like Mclogan's. It's a very famous screen printing spot. Ryonet for screen printing. It's kind of expensive. I highly don't recommend it, but you can also buy it from there. Local shops is my #1 spot for all of this. So check your area, just type in screen printing, local shops, businesses, and you'll have someone who has a small business selling stuff like this. Let's see. So you need this. You need yourself a nice squeegee. So you need something like this. A nice squeegee. I was like, who the heck is playing music? Alright, so the next thing you need is a scoop coater. It's a major thing you need. I don't know if you can hear the music. I'm outside, so you're gonna hear music. So you need a scoop coater that will fit your screen. So be sure not to buy like a really small fucking scoop coater and this shit don't fit. I have this outside. So you need one that literally fits your screen. So get a scoop coater. Buy these off of eBay. eBay is, some of them are cheap, but it's just a scoop coater. You just need something like alright, let me sit down for this because your girl struggled so fucking much trying to get some emulsion, and I've tried maybe like 4 or 5 different emulsions, but I go back to this one. This is the screen printing Ryonet ones, the base layer one, and it's like my go-to. No matter if I change it, I go back to the other one. I fucking still go to this one. And the reason I like this one, it's because it's a beginner emulsion. so you could be in daylight like this and it won't expose your screen. So I think it's just a really good emulsion, and I still go back to this one. So I highly recommend it. And it comes with a little bottle, so you just mix it in there. Be sure not to make the same mistakes I did. Is if you buy this one, it comes with a bottle, right? And it comes with a really fat bottle, and it says to fill it up with water. I filled it up all the way, and you're not supposed to do that. Fill it halfway. Don't fill it all the way, because then you're gonna mess up the whole emulsion and you're gonna have to buy a new one. Unless you could, I'm not sure, but I messed it up anyways, so I bought a new one, and my boyfriend did it for me. So what you're gonna need is vellum. This is what vellum looks like. It's a transparency film, or I don't know what people call it. This is an inkjet transparency film, 11 by 17. You can get these off, oh my god, fucking ruined it. You can get these off of FedEx, like have them printed for you, Staples. I highly recommend FedEx because Staples doesn't really do a good job in it, and it's a little bit more expensive. Or you can print it yourself like I do, and it'll save you lots of more money, because if you mess up one fucking transparency, you can just print it off your computer. All the items that I use, and I'll try my best to put optional stuff and like things you can purchase from there. Okay, smaller items. I have, you're gonna need like palette knives. They look a little like this. It's pretty much just to scoop out the ink, and you're gonna need some of these. I got this one off of Amazon. They're kind of expensive, but if you find a cheaper alternative way, you know. I bought the plastic ones, but they don't do the same job as these do. You need like scissors and tape. I have two tapes. I have the one for screen printing and just a regular like clear tape, just to put the vellum down on the palettes and kind of have them stick on there. But this one is what is it called? PMI tape, and I highly recommend it. It's kind of expensive, but I really like it because it's a very like glossy kind of tape, and it's easy to clean off. And I don't know, I just highly recommend it. It's used for screen printing. I know most like all the screen printers use it, so it's a good little thing if you want to be like super into the whole screen printing process. So the next smaller things is you're gonna need ink. This is the ink that I use. Obviously you don't have to use this ink, but it's one of the inks that I use. I know in LA they have I think it's called Rech Los Angeles, RHEETECH. I'll put that in the link too, but it's plastisol ink. I know they have water-based ink. There's a lot of types of ink, but for now I'm learning how to use the plastisol, so you can use that. Also, I know Speedball does, like, they have their own ink as well. I haven't really used it a lot, so I can really give a good review, but I know people who've used the screen printing ones from Speedball, so that's one thing. Another one is the Mist. I'm like showing a tutorial here. The Mist, Premium Mist Palette Adhesive. So this stuff, you kind of need it to kind of, well, if you have a palette, kind of you spray this on your palette so the shirts won't go up, and it's kind of a necessary thing to have with you because you don't want your shirts to fuck up during the process. So yes, you need one of these, and you need ink to do that as well. So we're moving on to the cleaning supplies. If you have cleaning supplies, then you don't have to watch this, I guess. So the next thing you need is a Supreme wash. It's pretty much a screen opener, and it's a quick color change on press. It apparently says it cleans up to 30 screens, probably a little bit more, I'm not sure, depending on how much you use. So yeah, definitely get one of these because you don't want to be cleaning it with water or anything. It just doesn't work really well. These two cleaning supplies to literally clean off your screens, and they're like your best friends. They have to be kind of together. So this is the emulsion remover concentrate, and you could dilute it, but I just spray it on because I think it comes off easier. So yeah, definitely get this one from Mclogan's. I don't know what it's called, but I'll link. Oh no, I think it's right here. McKay's. I think it's McKay's. Like a pink soap in a way, and this stuff comes out really good. So if your emulsion doesn't come off and it's just like sturdy and that shit does not want to come off, I recommend using this after. Just a little bit goes a long way, and it's kind of full in here. Also with that, you have to carry your own little like scrub, and I also recommend to have each one with their own sponge, because you don't want to mix chemicals. I personally have done that accidentally because I mixed up the wrong sponges, but to be real with you guys, you have to have your own sponges. Highly recommend these sponges because you're just be scrubbing the freaking screen, and it's helpful because you have it like this. I think personally those specific nozzle oh my god, I'm such a bad. I'm gonna put a picture here, and you kind of need one of these in your hose. So if you have a friend who has a water hose or a hose or something, you kind of want to go with them. This is their screen opener, and this shit smells like it's fucking strong. So if there like are dried inks on your screen, like when you're trying to screen print and like the ink just doesn't want to go through because the ink is freaking dried up there, pour some of this, spray some of this on your screen, and that thing has to come off. So it just, oh shit, there's ink all over it. But yeah, recommend getting yourself a screen opener on the side, because you never know when your screen is dried up with ink, and this thing, like sometimes it'll work. You can kind of use this and kind of clean it off with the screen opener, but sometimes it's not strong enough, so you have to pull up this little one, and this one will do the job. So grab yourself a screen opener. Don't use it like all the time, just use it when it's like super dried and you can't, like, you're just struggling too much and you need something to like freaking open the screen. A screen printing press, and this thing cost me, well not me, it cost me, my boyfriend bought it because we kind of split our inventory within each other. It's around $500, but plus shipping, plus taxes, plus more taxes, it was probably something around those price range, $500 and up. If you do end up buying one, let me tell you a really quick story or a little advice. Try having another person helping you, because it's gonna be really hard, and my boyfriend did the whole thing, so thankfully for him. I have it here, and without him I don't think I would have probably solved this, or maybe I would have, but I would have probably cried like 100 times doing this. So have another person be with you while working on this, because I don't think I would ever have built this by myself. This thing looks really complicated. So yeah. The next thing you'll need is an exposure unit, and this is the main thing you need to burn your screens to show your image and stuff. And I bought that one off of eBay for like 200, maybe like one something, 150. I'm not really sure. I'll probably just put a picture of the exposure unit I use. I don't want to really like hold it. That thing is kind of huge. But I recommend an exposure unit. That one, if you buy it new, I think it's going to be like 400, I don't know, depending on the size of your exposure unit, it goes up. So if you want a bigger one, it's going to cost you maybe a couple thousands. So I'm sticking with my baby one, and that one's like still expensive, but it's used, so I don't know. So you guys kind of need an exposure unit. You need a flash dryer, and my flash dryer is literally pulling up this camera. And that one I did buy it used off of eBay. That one costed me around like $2 something as well. I'm not sure the exact price, but I know flash dryers go super expensive, and if they're brand new they're probably like in the $500–600. I bought this one for like $200, and it's a little like not the like it's not brand new, obviously it's used, so it has its flaws, but it does the job. And I would highly recommend to search up on eBay for exposure units, flash dryers, even probably like the screen printing stations, scoop coaters, all that stuff. Buy it off of there. But yeah, also before I forget, if you don't want to buy a flash dryer, there's different options you can definitely purchase. There's a conveyor dryer. That thing is like $3,000 and up, and I still need to buy myself one because it's super useful. If you're freaking printing like 40 shirts, 50 shirts, 100 shirts, you don't want to do it with your flash dryer, and I'm a victim of that. I use my flash dryer and it really takes a long time to really cure those shirts. You can get yourself a conveyor dryer. Just know it's really expensive, but it saves you time. Also, it's probably gonna be super hard to build, so you're gonna need someone to help you build that. Pretty much there's a lot of options to do burning your shirts. So you could either use a conveyor dryer, a heat press, a flash dryer, a heat gun. I've only used the flash dryer. I personally have only used a flash dryer and a heat gun. A heat gun is a beginner's. You could use that, but it's going to take you a long time. So I don't know if I would recommend that, but it is possible to cure your shirts with that. So I'll leave you with the options, and you can kind of see what's on your budget and what you kind of want to do with that. So, and we bought a pressure washer because some of our screens weren't coming off, and we're just fucking struggling so much trying to get rid of the emulsion off. So if you want to have that and you have the money, you have, you know, I would recommend a pressure washer. It doesn't have to be one of those ginormous ones. It can be those like small little portable ones. So we bought a small one just in case like our emulsion doesn't want to come off, an accessory, that extra thing that we can wash off our screens with. So yeah, definitely think of little things like that, because you know you're going to be struggling taking off emulsion. And I've spent so many like not hours, but you know, obviously it accumulates, and I probably wash my screens with the hose and the emulsion just doesn't want to come off. So you really want something strong enough. So you know, it was time to invest in a little small pressure washer, so we got that. And the final things is I recommend a little cabinet. So this one is off of IKEA, and it was like $100 something bucks, and I think that was literally like the first thing that I bought for my screen printing stuff, is to have everything in there. Have all your screens, have your your inks and everything. I recommend a cabinet. So that is the #1 thing, is to have a cabinet with all your stuff and inks and everything else. Down here is location. So when you're screen printing, you're gonna need a lot of air circulation. You're gonna need air circulation, and you're gonna need water. So if you're in a room, I mean, it works if you're in a room, but just know that you want to have windows, because you don't want to be smelling all the freaking chemicals of the sprays, the washing and everything. So I do a lot of my washing outside, and I do my screen printing outside, but I'm in a tent, so it kind of controls like outside sort of. So I recommend probably doing it outside in a little tent if you don't have the money to have like your own studio, your own space. I highly recommend that, and recommend local shops, local small business shops, and purchase from them. And just know you're gonna make lots and lots of mistakes and a lot of crying sessions, because that's what happened to me. So I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you guys can stay on to the next one. Subscribe, like this video, and I don't know what else people